Hey everyone! I guess we shouldn't be in this, but here we go. Welcome back. It's the 35 mark, but starting a little bit early, so hopefully you guys are actually paying attention. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh. It's okay, admins. You just need a minute to give you guys an update as to what's going on. There were some things with the players. This was going to be the third or fourth place match initially, and I think that's what we had been expecting the whole day. Then there was some concern about trying to get the finals out of the way so players could compete in Total Biscuits tournament. To add some context here that I find really interesting, though, is these guys are playing for what is a guaranteed $4,500 with a potential $7,500 first place finish. Nerchio seems to be under the impression that should Total Biscuit call upon him, he will be leaving the finals here to go play in that, which I find odd because the total prize pool for Shoutcraft is $4,500, or sorry, $5,000. So Nerchio, who can't even possibly earn that much as he has not won every single game leading up to this and then the games following, would earn more by just sticking out the second place match here than Total Biscuit's tournament. I think there's a small issue of respect, and he mentioned that he didn't want to get into Total Biscuit's bad side and be invited back to future events, etc. But it's kind of like there's a lot more money here than over there. So there's a bit of an odd priority from the players, in my point of view.
That's so weird. Yes, that's a summary.
Why did we have to remake? What's going on?
I'm not sure. That's not what's weird though. Since the only referee left while they were paused, I wonder if we could.
If they'd be able to unpause. Yeah.
Huh. Well, hopefully that never happens in a important game. But yeah, that's the summary. And I agree. Yeah, I think the point was that he didn't want to be on Total Biscuit's bad side, but.
And I get that. It makes total sense. But it is kind of this like, I guess for me, I look at it, I'm like, it's so obvious that you should play for the one where there's more money.
Well, yeah, of course he didn't know he would be here when he agreed. Yeah, I don't know.
I only bring it up because this really does go back to the whole double booking issue, the potential conflicts. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone will be able to work around this, and this isn't going to be drama, and no one's going to be upset by it. But it is just kind of like, ugh.
Some potential for awkwardness. There's also a discussion about the third, fourth place match. But if Nerchio does have to go, I guess we would just hop into that. I have no idea. Let's just hope everything works out. Let's hope Gumiho Dream lasts forever.
Yeah. Do me a favor, though, guys. If you haven't, go to Twitter, retweet about the match. There is such a considerably large amount of money for this, going back to that. This whole tournament had $15,000 in prizing from the World Cyber Arena. Again, $7,500 approximately. It's actually a little more. It's like $7,640 something. But it's $7,500 for first place, $4,500 for second. Lots of money riding on this finals.
Mm-hmm.
More money than we see in several months on BaseTradeTV.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Okay, so real getting into the game now? Not sure if we were missing a caster or...
I didn't think we were, so I don't know what that was about necessarily.
It's the only reason to, because it's not like they cared about the game privacy.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Doesn't change much. It's not like Frost where you have different spawn locations. This is just straight up the same map of Frozen
I
Temples.
prefer bottom right. Mm.
So this is a best of 7, correct?
As far as I know.
Best of 7, correct? Let me just go confirm that. I'm pretty sure that's the case, but maybe something changed. We didn't. I don't know. There's lots of things are changing here at the last minute, so making sure nothing else did. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. There we go. Confirmed now. Best of 7 by the admin. Argentum. Lots of money in the line for the World Cyber Arena Grand Finals. This was an entirely European-only event, and we find ourselves now in game number 1. In the top left side, it is going to be the red Protoss My Insanity's PtitDrogo.
In the bottom right, as the blue Zerg, he is a Nerchio.
Now, with Nerchio's series he just played, I think there has to be a degree where we say this will probably be a good series for Nerchio. He's looking good versus Protoss. Showtime is objectively just as good, if not better, than Drogo, and if he can beat him, he could certainly be able to beat Drogo.
Yes.
But Drogo's a very interesting character when it comes to StarCraft. And a lot of the things that could normally keep other players down, he actually manages to fight through. And, I mean, just that first series for him where he won, too, was a bit odd. Granted, again, different type of Protoss player. or Zerg player, excuse me, but we'll see what he manages to do. I'm really hoping we do get to see some delectable storms and force fields and other things that just make it hype to watch Protoss play. But at the end of the day, Nerchio might just bully him into submission too. It's 7 games after all potentially being played out here.
Yep. I don't remember if we shouted this out. What Pony? Thank for the 14-month resub. Not been so on top of remembering. But at least we're getting them. Nerchio, I'd say, like, I hope Drogo is watching some of those games, as Nerchio is a very different player than sort of. I think Nerchio is already, like, well aware of, like, what Drogo is like as a player. And he also could have watched Drogo's games, of course, but I feel like lately, you know, Legacy of the Void, basically, so not so much lately, but expansion-wise, Zerg does control the matchup a little bit more about, like, what are they going to do as opposed to reacting to whatever the Protoss is going to do.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, what, 5 years of StarCraft? Zerg's the reactive race, you hear every caster say, and
yeah,
it has shifted gears quite significantly.
Yeah, and it's certainly now, like, okay, the Protoss are generally going to go for certain X or Y compositions, maybe different ways to getting there, but basically the same, whereas the Zerg player has a lot of different options. Ling Baneling attacks, Ling Baneling Ravager, Roach Ravager all-ins, Ling Baneling into Mutas, Ling Baneling into Hydras, Hydra Lurker Roach.
Listing these off just sounds like Forrest Gump, that scene where they're talking about shrimp.
shrimp
barbecue, shrimp cocktail, Ling cocktail, Ling all-in,
yeah.
Ling Baneling, Ling Muta, Ling Hydra.
Yeah, so the point is, well, I think the amount of, like, all-ins are kind of, I don't know about similar. Like, I'm not gonna go and list all the all-ins that are ever possible in Legacy of the Void. I think the compositions can be different, a lot more different for the Zerg than it is for the Protoss. But it's not a complaint of balance or design. I think that Protoss is fine in Legacy of the Void. I think the design is great. It just is the reality situation. So to go up against Sort of, who sort of was doing most of the same thing, you know, Ling, Baneling, and then somewhat changing up, whether it was Spire or once he went for Hydralisk. I'm actually forgetting. Nerchio is clearly showcased versus Showtime that he can not only go for Ling Baneling for sure, but Roach Ravager all-ins and Ling Baneling attacks and Spire play and everything in the toolbox, basically. So Drogo's going to be on top of scouting, that's for sure, and 2 Adepts do get in here, instantly kill 2 drones. Nerchio, unfortunately, had Lings elsewhere, but even if he had them here, there's not really that many. And Drogo, you know, had he seen anything else besides nothing, almost, he would not have committed to this. But 2 Adepts did want to get something done, and they got 5 drones and a couple of Lings. Also got some scouting. They saw the Roach Warren, but as you know, this is kind of like, this has really become, whoopsie daisy, this has really become like a safety Roach Warren, so I'm not quite sure he realizes that it's going to be an all-in from Nerchio. Nerchio stopped building drones. He's building nothing but Lings right now. And to Drogo, that might not be so obvious. In fact, I don't think it was. This is just him realizing, oh shit, what are the Roaches doing over here? If it really is just the Roaches, he's probably kind of like a little weird, you know, weirded out, like, just Roaches can't kill me. But then he's gonna notice that there's more Lings in the way.
Yeah.
The Lings will have to stay back at home, though, and just Roaches against a pylon would not be enough, so he's complicating the matter by buying time.
I mean, the Adepts aren't slaughtering worker lines here, but they are getting kills, and that's the thing. Nerchio can't seem to stop this.
It's really messing up his all-in here. And now Drogo, like, realizes, like, okay, there's still a lot of units on the way. Now, finally, Nerchio goes back into droning, but... Oh, he did cancel this base. So what I saw was just him making 2 more probes during the production tab.
I see him with 1,200 minerals, and I was wondering about that too.
Yeah, okay. And I was like, oh, does he not realize he has to be concerned about this? But this is a very odd decision nonetheless, because that Nexus, I guess it was a really tough decision. If the Nexus is only halfway done, you let it continue, and then maybe you can save it, maybe not. But if it's done, and you can't save it, then shit, you just wasted 400 minerals, you know? And
right.
He realized at the last second, like, maybe he could have saved it, and it's a little too late. Well, it's not too late, it just is, it's later.
These are good force fields, by the way. Ravagers, of course, just burned their corrosive biles. Another one comes out to break those. One corrosive bile breaking 3 force fields. Really nice to see. Another one takes out one of the sentries on the backside, but he will hold Nerchio's advance.
Yeah. And I think Drogo really wishes he'd let that Nexus finish. He had no reason to have 200 minerals, so it wasn't like he needed to throw down 18 cannons. It just was a split-second decision that unfortunately holds him off from a better macro game. Like, if that is done and Probes are transferred over, he looks really damn good, because Nerchio was stuck below 50 drones for a long time in this game, but now he's up to 57, he's got a 4th base, and things aren't looking so different than a normal macro game now, despite Nerchio's earlier committal to army units.
So, just while we got a bit of a slowdown here, I want to explain once again. People are asking why the finals playing out first. There's some confusion. There's points I don't understand fully and entirely about the decision for it, but the finals are playing out first because Drogo and Nerchio are both worried about getting called out for Shoutcraft to play over there. They want to finish this first so there's no conflicts of tournaments. They don't want to just leave in the middle of the finals. To which my confusion is, I don't know why they would leave in the middle of the finals. There's more money over here than there is in Shoutcraft, so to me, it doesn't seem like it should be an issue in the first place.
Well, this is a fairly nice looking attack. It has key units that can just be run over, like we kind of see here, but oh, maybe not. It looked like the Corsair Biles would be enough, but a little bit of splitting. There we go. Okay, I was gonna say. Lings on top of the sentries. Ravager's actually getting Corsair Biles on the army, and Drogo just looks silly for doing this attack, but he's barely making it work. You know, if this is a Warp Prism with this, I think he's already won. Without it, you're kind of maybe still questioning why did he do this. He lost a lot of gas units for it, but I think overall it was okay. It was really trading, though. Not usually see those engagements go like that. Drogo has been banking a lot of money, and he does need to throw down a lot more production. Oh my god, he's only on 3 gateways? Oh no, he's on 6. Phew. Wait, where are they? 1, 2... Oh, over here. I'm dumb. Still, banking a lot of money, needs more production than 6 gateways. I think 8 plus is where you want to be on 3 bases saturated. As well as, you know, everything else. The Templar Archives. He would love for Blink to already be done. Unfortunately, does not get that wall off with the Adept, so the Lings into the main base. Lings go into the 3rd base before the cannon is finished. And Probes will be going down here.
Well, only 7, though, so still not too bad. But pretty nice for Nerchio to get in there nonetheless.
Warp Prism's going to try and return the drone damage.
Lings took a little bit longer to clean up, too, than I expected.
Right? Just kept chomping away at that. But Nerchio is still in a difficult position, I would say. This has been not the perfect game from either side. Things have been getting awkward for multiple reasons. First it was Nerchio's attack, and then the Adept, and then it was the Immortal attack here that looked kind of wonky. So Nerchio is kind of still stuck on Roach Ravager, where maybe he would want to be. And mind you, Roach Ravager is supposed to have quite a significant army lead, if that's the composition you're really going for. And while he has like a 20 armor display, that actually wouldn't put that up that high, especially because he's not even upgrading the Roaches, he's upgrading the Lings. So I would say that Drogo still, like, he wants to take a fight. He wants to get these beautiful force fields and let the Immortals chomp away at the Roaches, but it's not quite happening. And I don't think he has enough force fields to really commit to this attack either. Even if the Archons join in once again without a Warp Prism, it's never going to be a real game-ending attack.
Good old classic beautiful force fields.
Yeah. Nerchio is going way off of creep and is attacking into an area where Drogo has a pylon that can warp in fairly quickly. Does manage to get the Mothership Core, so no recall, and he wants to take the fight, but the Immortals are chomping away from the backside. The dodge Corsair Biles, of course, but maybe Nerchio just has the numbers. Another Immortal pops in here.
That's hard to say because the Immortals haven't started chewing away the Roaches yet. They were dealing with those Lings for so long, but as we see, once the Lings disappear, the Roaches melt away immediately. So that's going to be game, and Drogo takes the first match.
Also happening, by the way, was a counterattack. Drones weren't getting slaughtered quite yet, but he had pulled away entirely from the natural and was getting hit in the main too. So combination, loses army, loses economy, and Drogo wins. There you go. Okay, well, that was a very odd opener into a kind of a funky, like, it was almost a clumsy game from, like, both of them, you know? It was not the beautiful perfection that can be StarCraft 2. But ultimately ended in Drogo's favor, and that's what matters. It's a best of 7. There's a lot of opportunities for odd games, all-ins, cheese, whatever. Are they doing... They might be doing loser's pick. I think they are. Which is kind of weird to change the format.
Change the format for the finals, yeah.
But they didn't do any veto process that we saw, and the mod has to ask for each map. I don't know. He's already in the game, so we'll just buy time. How about that shotcraft? Oh yeah, quite.
I'm not watching it, but I assume it's good.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. It's patience versus dream.
Oh, go patience.
What a dreamboat.
Actually, we're kind of hitting that period of time where, like, I wonder when they swap over to the more heavy foreigner roster because it is super late in Korea. And no one's going to want to play because they'll be like, nah, don't biscuit, it's 5 a.m. I want to sleep.
Right? It is pretty damn late for Koreans.
Well, Frost could give us a very interesting game at number 2. Where Nerchio didn't really succeed in Frozen Temple, some of those same tactics may work better here. I just want to point out too, it's going back to the whole third base getting canceled versus saved, I thought was going to have a bigger impact in the game, but I guess at the end of the day, Drogo didn't really matter.
It's more like imagine had he not canceled it, how far ahead he would have been.
Right, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Could go either way, I guess, depending on how long it took him to get it back up.
Yeah. Well, the players are ready. Next map is Frost. Getting that snow theme because it's so damn hot outside. I wouldn't know. I haven't been outside today, but I assume because it's Virginia.
The weather outside is frightful. Man, I really wish they would let the third place match play, but I guess the third place match is worth $3,000.
Yeah.
So they probably want to get that streamed and get the most bang for their buck. I'm curious though on Nerchio's comment though of calling it imaginary $3,000, and with their hesitance. I shouldn't say hesitance, more like reluctance to stay here and potentially jump ship to go to Tilda Biscuits thing. Like, is there just bad history of getting paid by WCA or something? Like,
there might be. I think there's combination. Anything that's new, you're going to be hesitant about. Anything in esports in general, you're going to be hesitant about. And they're talking about the Chinese money. So in some ways, I think they're talking about it like I talk about Canadian money.
so
Monopoly money. Because they literally use the term monopoly money.
Just being dicks. Got it.
Yeah.
All right, we got before we get into the intros, a $5 donation coming from ASDFASDF. It says, what are some good anime to watch for an old timer in his 30s? I don't know how to. I'm not like a sommelier or whatever, the guy that serves wine that can guide you through like what wines you should drink.
Oh.
I can't do that with anime. I can tell you some of my favorites, but I don't know if you'd like them. So just a quick list of obviously Gurren Lagann. Erased was pretty good. Samgrab and I both watched that recently, and then I recently just finished watching or getting caught up in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Those would be 3 I would recommend. Do you have at least one?
My favorite's Future Diary.
Okay, that's not for a guy in his 30s, I don't think, though.
Well, that's why I'm really confused for, like, especially for saying, like, for a guy in his 30s, but, like, that doesn't tell me very much. You could be a guy in his 30s who loves Lolitas. Like, I don't fucking know.
That's true. You could be total weeb for all we know. Anyways, good luck.
Of course, he wouldn't be
on your
asking for
search,
suggestions.
kind sir, and thank you for the donation.
Yes, quite.
But getting into the game, in the bottom right side of the map, we do have the light blue Protoss leading the series 1-0. My Insanity's PtitDrogo.
And top left as the red Zerg, he is Nerchio.
All right, so Nerchio had a bit of an abrupt ending to that last game. I will say this for certain, though. I highly doubt he's tilted, and he doesn't not type GG because like he's pissed off. He just doesn't really type GG a lot of the time. So
Yeah.
for anyone who wants to like overanalyze that, I just suggest you don't, because there really is nothing to overanalyze for it.
Yeah. It's really weird how ingrained it is in StarCraft 2 specifically. Like, it's always courtesy, I suppose, to say GG to your opponents in any game.
When we started playing Overwatch, I was getting told I was BMing for typing GG at the end of rounds and stuff. They're
Well,
like,
you're just supposed to if you win.
well, the thing is, end of game, GG. That's my logic. Doesn't matter where.
No. What? You don't do that to people who tap out of the game in StarCraft 2, do you?
Well, I mean, they never don't say GG to me first, so I guess that's the thing. There's no wrong thing here, because in StarCraft, everyone always types GG. So I'm in the habit of always typing GG back, win or lose.
Well,
So what I'm saying is, like, when I started playing Overwatch, again, by default, win or lose the match, type GG. But when I'd win, people were like, "That's fucking rude."
yeah, I'm not saying that you are rude. I'm saying that I actually see the point of people who say that, though. Like, because for StarCraft 2, you say GG. I actually don't say GG if someone says GG to me. Like, they're the one losing. I don't bother responding back. That got me in trouble once, but I don't know why. But like, certainly if they don't GG and then you type GG after, you can be the greatest guy in the fucking world and like be super nice all the time, and they'll still take that as like, you didn't have to do that. Like, that kind of just is almost rubbing it in my face. And for Overwatch, where no one types GG in the game if they lose, the automatic assumption is then you're the asshole who types it after they've left the game, and like, why would you do that? So, because I was doing that too in Overwatch. I was like, GG. Oh shit, I probably shouldn't have said that. Damn, now an asshole.
Taking it one step further too, this goes back to like playing baseball in real life. At the end of every game, you'd line up, you'd shake hands, you'd say good game. Like, this is just, for me, between that and StarCraft, such a normal thing to do.
It's so weird how different it is too, though, because the same way that in StarCraft 2 you would not type GG to the opponent that lost if they didn't type it first, in real sports, if you went to go shake their hand, if you're the victor and they didn't do it to you, they would be the assholes. So, damn, this works so many different levels. Society, am I right?
Real esports, man. Real esports.
Real esports.
Other side of the map, the Overlord is being pushed out of the natural. I do not believe Nerchio has got a scout on the Dark Shrine. I don't think that got deep enough. In fact, I can confirm it didn't even see the main. So, yeah, the Dark Shrine for Drogo looks like it will finish up and be unseen.
I've talked about this before. Nerchio is such a smart player. He'll find out you're doing something silly or wonky from other means, like, hey, I checked your gases, or hey, your army count's not where it should be, or hey, your third base isn't put down quite yet. But sometimes it seriously just has to be a direct suicide to Overlord Scout, you know? And Nerchio doesn't do that commonly, you know? And if he does, it doesn't actually get that far because he never gets Overlord speed. So these early game shenanigans seem to get free wins against Nerchio once in a blue moon, and I'm glad that Drogo's trying it out. Now, it is a macro DT thing, so he's going to third base, but he's going to get a lot of damage potentially. Nope, Overseer's on the way.
Going back to, I want to say, like 2014, I remember watching an interview with Suppy and a couple other guys. It was one of those talk show things. I don't remember which one. And they were talking about how at the time, like, oh, Nerchio's such a coin flippy player, it's so hard to guess what he's going to do because of X and Y. And it kind of makes me think, like, a lot of that has maybe refined itself, where he's still coin flippy, but he's like refined his coin flippiness.
I do remember, yeah, a lot of people complaining of him, like even stream cheating, because he'd have the defense or whatever, and then it'd just be because he noticed X or Y or got lucky. Like this sport caller, for instance, Drogo might be like, how the hell did he know I was doing this? But maybe because he saw the gases, might have been the third base timing, it might have just been like, oh, you know what? It might just
simply be, yeah, you guessed at it, you got it right.
This game, I decided I needed a safety spore crawler, and good thing, because I did need it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's always interesting watching Nerchio play, because it is really hard to concretely say it's X and Y, or X or Y type thing.
Yeah. Okay, so DTs didn't work out, but it's a macro opener, you know, and it's not quite the same as having a third base super early, or having, you know, Blink or whatever already underway. It's not the worst thing in the world. Nerchio knows that he doesn't really have to worry about a follow-up attack, though, which is nice for him. He can get the fourth base, he can get a creep spread going, and all he has to worry about is DTs, like getting a couple of sneaky kills on his drones, which is not even happening. So he can do whatever he wants, and that thing that he wants to do is apparently banelings. And roaches. He's bothered to get roach speed and a lot more roaches, so maybe even more roach heavy than it is ling heavy. There's a fly in my room. Oh, that's gonna be so annoying.
Don't know why she swallowed that fly.
If you hear a clapping sound, it is because I just killed the fly.
What was that full song? I don't know why she swallowed that fly.
I've never heard the song you're talking about.
Really?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow up to that because I don't. Bailing speed starts up for Nerchio. I think in every part of this matchup, whether you're worried about zealots or adepts or not, having a little bit of splash can go a long way. A couple bailings triggering all the immortal shields, not a bad thing at all. But just generally speaking, I think that this is going to be a situation where for Nerchio, big open engagements, lots of army supply. Right now, this is really his game to control.
Drogo has a good army against the competition Nerchio has, though, so even at twice the army supply, I'm a little worried for him. Here come the Ravagers that really mix things up, though, for this base tech, and there is also the Banelings. That makes it up. They're
Heck of a lot of them.
gonna have baneling speed, I think, by the time he chooses an engagement. I think. Well, 15 seconds? I don't know. I don't know. He's going in from two different sides. Those are some super slow banelings, and force fields are going to come down now that he knows where the banelings are coming from. Yeah, he's totally prepped for the force fields. And this looks like awkward for Nerchio. He's quickly lost out on that heavy army supply, by the way. Now only up by 10.
Yeah,
Force
I
fields
think a lot
come
of that had
down.
to do with the fact
Oh
that
no, he
his
missed the
Nerchios
force
too, but
field.
the banelings go in. Force field's not there. Corsair Battles actually broke one or two of them, but he missed most of them. Archons will push this back, though, and Nerchio's army evaporates very quickly. Partially to his own doing. He's caught in a time warp!
Oh
But the
my
only
God!
time in the pro game, the time warp is good!
Woo! But that engagement happened, the fucking fly ran right into my eye. I was exclaiming partially because of those force fields and those
Got down on one
banelings,
knee.
but also because of a damn fly!
Nerchio
Alright.
got down on one knee and said, Drogo, will you marry me?
Oh my god. So Drogo takes, I think, a really good fight. The supplies, the numbers here don't look that
Supplies?
bad. Shut up. Shut up.
Set up. You set up.
They don't look that bad. And you might be thinking, like, how do I think Drogo has such a good lead? But he is the one that has a better army as time goes on, for sure. He's gonna have more Archons, more Immortals, maybe even a couple more Sentries. The charge lots, as long as they're kept behind this army, as they've been doing to a decent job of, are gonna be able to clean up whatever's left over after the banelings are gone. And it just gets worse and worse, usually, for the Baneling Roach Ravager player. But Drogo is getting far out of position, and Nerchio sees this, so even though he has to wait for a couple of Ravagers here, he's gonna move in and try and take down the third base, and Drogo, if he doesn't pull back right now, is gonna be caught in the middle of the map doing nothing. Do something, attack or defend. Okay, he's gonna choose to attack. I don't know if it's the right move.
Mix,
Oh,
but the
that's
Banelings
why.
manually detonate, trying to take out the DTs. That's kind of a clever move out of Nerchio, but there's still one up. If he gets those Banelings on it, he does. Now there's no more DTs, and this base is absolutely gonna go down. Excuse me, there's still two more on the north side. Didn't even see them. That's how good they are being cloaks.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
unfortunately for Nerchio, that is everything in his army, and he decides to abandon ship. He doesn't even get the base. Tries to rush back home to defend. But this is an army I don't think he can fight.
No, I think his army sucks right now. Like, it really was the Banelings and the Ravagers that made it even a little bit questionable, but without those, Nerchio's army just dies. Even using some clever Warp Prism micro here. Unnecessary. GG.
Wow. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Drogo up 2 in the series is absolutely fantastic for him, and not something I would have seen against a player like Nerchio. I don't want to come down on him, but this is a good start.
It's a really good start.
But it is a best of 7. We got many games ahead of us, folks. So sit tight. We'll be back soon with more.
Hello again. New Gettysburg is going to be game number 3, and Drogo seems like he might just have Nerchio's number. The same way that Nerchio had Showtime's number. Revenge of the Protoss. Yeah.
I don't... It's weird for me to look at this, right? Because this, first off, isn't going the way I assumed it would. But secondly, I don't know if it's safe to say anyone really has anyone's number in this series. Again, best of 7. There's a lot of comeback potential here.
There is, but I think Drogo's had some very convincing fights. The first game was a little wonky, but even then I think he came out of a wonky situation more confident. Apparently we missed a donation.
Oh.
Reamer donated $3.33. It says makes otter sounds. So
That's the special otter thing on my channel, so... He's very cutie, he is. Google.
I would make otter sounds if I remembered how they even sound like.
It's kind of like, they're like cats chirping. No, that's not true. I can't describe it.
Right? I can't remember it. Oh well.
Well, Riamar, know that we love you and thank you very much. Because he's also contributed a ton of other money to some cool upcoming events. If you guys haven't seen, Mod Tournament has like $200 already in the prize pool. We're going to have a little Kinesho match, which also has a ton of money on the side. So lots of cool stuff coming up. But we are getting into game number 3 here in the WCA finals. Again, tons of money on the line for this as well. $7,500 to the winner, $4,500 US to the loser of this best of 7. And currently losing in the bottom left side, he's down 2 games. It's the Blue Zerg player, Nerchio.
The bottom right as the red Protoss. He is Drogo.
So I mean, at this point, Nerchio, really does have to make something happen, but he's not in dire straits yet. He still has yet another life to fall back on before he's really worried about being match point. But as you said, I guess I will agree. Like, Drogo's games that he won were pretty good wins, but I'm still not convinced that this is simply Drogo who's got Nerchio's number and it'll be a 4-0.
No, I think it'll be a 4-1 at this point. I've got good predictions so far today, so I'm gonna try and hit a home run here.
In this case, unrelated, I was looking at this during the break. We were talking about this a while ago about how flip phones just look cooler than smartphones, right?
Correct.
Allegedly, Samsung's actually developing a smart flip phone, and it's basically a smartphone as it is now, but they have a back for you to flip it with. This is either gonna be such a stupid or such an amazing idea, and I'm not sure which.
Huh. It's not gonna be the same.
No, I don't think it will, but I'm excited to see what the product looks like.
It's also like they'd flip the phone up, right, to not usually make a call, but to like put in the numbers for the detonation or something, you know, and you'd hear the click sounds.
Detonation?
Yeah, you know? They hit one and then the thing would explode, but they can't really do that on a smartphone. The smartphone doesn't make that hardcore click. It makes a beep, like a boop. At least mine does.
Tactile buttons, man. That's what we need.
Yeah, clearly. I'm sure someone has developed an app for that.
Folks who are requesting Cattington, by the way, that will take donations to make that happen. I'm sorry. He's feeling a bit shy today. The Adept coming over on this side of the map, really nothing to do. It might get a drone kill or so, but for Drogo, scouting I think is going to be far more valuable than even killing a worker or 3.
Mm-hmm. He gets into the main, not far enough to really confidently say nothing odd is happening, but...
Did you see the gases with that, though?
I saw one gas with it.
Can't... Why won't it let me check his vision? What the f...
I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, he saw the gases. Man, that was pissing me off. Okay, whatever for the seeing. I don't know why that was broken. I had to actually go to his vision on the thing. Oh. Guys hit us up with a 14-month resub as well. Says, hey guys, big old 14 months. Keep up the casting. You, sir, keep up the viewing, I guess. Thanks for watching.
Oh.
Oh.
Spine Crawler's coming down. That's a little odd. Nerchio not usually over defensive in ZvP anyways. Like ZvZ, I think I've seen him go with Spine Crawlers fine, you know, often enough, but a Spine Crawler, when usually it's the Zerg who's the scary one in the early game, like, oh my god, are they gonna cancel my third base or aren't they? If Drogo were to scout that and nothing else, that might tell him to scout more, you know? Like, okay, why are you being a little bit more defensive? What are you scared of from me? Oh, Jesus, the Oracle, no. Gets four drones, though. 4 queens would have been amazing. As Nerchio did see the third base, and I don't know if Drogo knows that. Yeah, Spine Crawler just looks really weird. It would be able to, I guess, halt Adept run-bys for, like, a fraction of a second, especially if they do take the time to kill it.
Yeah, I mean, positioning and buying yourself a few extra seconds can go a long way.
However, I think it is for the fast lair. This is a very fast lair, like super quick. I think he started like 4 minutes, and so far it hasn't been scouted. The Oracle is not too keen on going there. Maybe there's not enough drones to go over there, and just figuring that if they're going to scout anything important, it's going to be in the main or the natural. Either way, this could be a surprise. I just don't know what Nerchio's going to be using it for. He doesn't have enough gas to use it. They only just realized that. Is this awkward? Is this what's happening?
I feel like if you have to ask if it's awkward, it might be awkward.
Yeah. Ling's trying to do something, but it was such a small number that's not really going to be the case, and that layer just felt too fast for what Nerchio seems to be doing with it. Yeah, I'm not one to usually be like, I know better than pro players, especially Zerg players, but it just... Maybe something threw him off. Because, you know, the Roach Warren isn't exactly timing out with the layer, right? And maybe it is just, like, I'm criticizing 20 seconds difference of timing, okay? And I'm being an asshole, I don't know, but... Okay, now the Hydra's gonna come down. Alright then. So, still kind of awkward for Drogo, I guess. For a while there, he didn't see a lair in the natural or the main. It's probably like, what's going on? But now he has a better idea. And it is just going to be Roach Hydra. Or just Hydra. We'll see if he gets Roach Speed. He is dedicating to the melee upgrade. So maybe just Ling Hydra. Well, 4 bases on the way, and Drogo, I mean, whatever scouting he got is just playing a regular macro game. Nothing has thrown him off and thinking, what's different here? It's a good changeling kill.
They make kind of shrill noises when they die.
They
kinda
do.
Cute, kind of sad.
These were sad. They sound like a baby something, you know? Like a puppy or a kitten. Or an actual baby.
What the fuck? How many puppies and kittens have you been killing to hear what that sounds like?
Well, like, high pitch usually is attributed to younger things, right? To younger mammals?
Now you really sound like you're a disassociated, like, scientist who's been killing puppies. Like, yes, younger mammals obviously make that sound. The higher frequency is indicative of its age.
I'm just saying, it sounds like a little babby, okay? It sounds, you know what it sounds like, alright? You never seen, like, Aliens? Aliens 2, maybe? Or 3, rather?
Considering they don't exist, I've never seen Aliens.
You sound almost fake. Like, oh, I've never seen Aliens. What do you just say?
I'll have you know.
But like, okay, so like the one of the bad alien movies, and it's the one where like she's kind of like the mother of the alien, and she has to kill it at the end of the movie, and it's like screaming as it gets sucked out the airlock, and she's like super sad and it's screaming, and that made you feel emotion even though it was a terrible movie and not really that emotional. That's what that sounded like. I'm Sigourney Weaver, just tears everywhere.
You're a hot mess.
Anyway. So, despite what was like a pretty early lair, I guess things are really just looking quite normal. I guess it was more like, not like an early lair, but a greedy lair. Like, you realized things are going to be going, you know, 2 1/3, 4 bases, because he got the scout on Drogo's 3rd, so... Alright. But, it's Hydra Lurker Ling. He's got the double upgrades on the attack, same or similar to how he played versus Showtime.
Yeah, meanwhile, the fleet beacon just got slapped down too. This, I guess, I wasn't expecting this. The mothership of all things.
Whoa! He's like, you know what? Those damn Zerg always killing my observers.
Yeah, making me fucking go storms and force fields. I'm sick of this.
Damn, I'm gonna get revenge. They keep sniping my observers. I'm gonna snipe your overseers.
So, but here's what's kind of cool about this, right? Like, for Nerchio's sake, like, okay, he'll have overseers, maybe they get picked off, maybe they don't. But this is not a situation where he has abducts readily available, and the mothership can hang kind of far back. The Hydras don't actually have the range to snipe it if the stealth becomes a big issue.
Yeah, usually by the time a mothership's out, the option for Corruptors or Vipers is there. But this is so damn early and so unexpected too. Like Nerchio, he saw the Stargate, right? Because it's open with an Oracle. But you're not gonna recheck for a second Stargate or a Fleet Beacon, not for some time, not until like minute 13, 14. So this is very interesting. The 4th base might still have to be canceled here. I don't know. Oh my God, whoa, Lings, you're way ahead of the army. Stop. Okay. That didn't really work out. Poor Depths. 3rd base is so much SimCity to go through. Lurker's a little bit left alone. That was a little bit scary for a second. In fact, Drogo's gonna take the fight.
I don't know about this. This is dangerous. The Zealots causing this Lurker spikes to go different directions. But the Immortals are surrounded. All kinds of nope as you hear zombie grubs chanting it, and the mothership arrives way too late to the party.
You saw
the Oracles go down too.
I think everyone saw the thought process there.
Yeah.
Like, the Lurkers were alone. Let's go for it. But he went for it like 2 seconds too late. The Lings got the surround. They protected their Lurker buddies, and the Immortals couldn't get on top of them. And Archons are okay against Lurkers. They're not okay alone against, like, 15 Lurkers.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool seeing the mothership actually get used. It's neat. But he's got to be so careful. Storm starts up as a way to deal with the massive amounts of Hydras. And I guess if you got the Templar protected underneath the mothership, that's cool. Zealots in charge last thing out. The Hydras, and if there's no anti-air, then the mothership will wreck the Lurker count. But there's more Hydras where that came from. He's got to back away once again. Overcharge doing what it can to help with some of these shots. But the mothership is really, really overextending.
Man, I would have loved to have seen this game had Drogo not made a colossal mistake with the mothership.
Right?
Like, I think it's a cool addition.
I like the idea as a response to it, too, because it's so good at killing Hydras. Look at that. It does so much damage. 6 times 7 every time it shoots, and those Hydras don't have a lot of health.
And if Nerchio was not on 4 bases, just easily pumping out Hydra lists, this might be a time where Drogo, you know, gets back in the game and is like, okay, good, that didn't lose me the game overall. But imagine had he not lost that engagement. so hard. He would have an even army supply. He'd probably be on the, you know, brink of breaking this here, and oh, it'd look so much better, I'll tell you that. Feedback would love to go down and kill this Overseer, but it's not quite enough energy.
I'm just gonna say it too. I know this won't be popular opinion. I wish they'd bring Black Hole back. I think it would make engagements like this really cool.
I think that'd be fine to test, actually, in Legacy of the Void.
Like, oh yeah, we didn't realize we just turned the button off for an expansion. That was our bad. Sorry,
Right.
fellow Protoss.
Oh, thank you to Revolution for being a new sub. Woo!
Oh, new sub hype.
Well, Drogo has to give up the 4th base. He's been rolling in money, just doesn't have the gateway production to use it, so he could replace it given time. These changelings, yeah. But he also kind of needs an army, so.
Yeah, I mean, Time Warp, I'm wondering too, I guess he's overcharged being the bigger priority, but if you Time Warped a couple of these fights, I wonder how different that would go. That cloaking field's a lot smaller than I remember it being too.
Oh, the Immortals want to go in, but the High Templars do not. They want to get Storms. Boy, do they want to get Storms. They ain't getting it, though. No! 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 No!
Calm down.
Okay, it's good.
GG. Nerchio gonna put a point on the board. But alright, that's game 3 in what is possibly 7. So we're at the halfway point now, guys. Sit tight. Back with more action after this break.
Welcome back. The next map is going to be on Apotheosis. Unfortunately, I feel like Drogo just played a 9-minute warm-up into a loss, and he's probably doesn't feel great about that game. There could be worse situations. It's like, yeah, I'm going to get to this mothership, and I'm actually going to get there because I think that's really happening right now, and it's going to be awesome, and then, oh, shit.
I really thought the mothership was a cool idea, though. Like, I just want to really go back on that for a moment. I thought that was really cool. I could see where he was going with that thought process-wise. And I would hope to see him try something like that again. But that also, I'm wondering if is specific to exactly what Nerchio was doing in that one game. Maybe it's something he does on that one map. I don't know. But we're going to be getting to Apotheosis next, so pretty big map.
Yeah. Not too drastically influencing this matchup, and in fact, in a way, sometimes reverses the benefits from TVZ and PVZ. As the Zerg, defensive versus Terran nowadays, right? But very aggressive often versus Protoss and Legacy of the Void. That's kind of a role reversal from Heart of the Storm, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Anyway, so the longer distance, while speedlings are quick and, you know, you get enough creep spread, a lot of units are going to be quick, that could influence Nerchio's, like, you know, if he does a Roach Ravager push, which I don't think he's going to do, or just, you know, Ling reinforcements if you just barely haven't gotten enough of damage done, that type of stuff.
I like
this map.
I like this guy in chat, by the way, Sublux. Watching this tournament, but StarCraft tournament, so difficult to pay attention to both such first world StarCraft problems. So much StarCraft, awesome StarCraft going on lately. And that is the truth, man. Today's been a really good day for StarCraft. It's a bit too much, to be honest, but it's good nonetheless.
Yeah. On Apotheosis, in the bottom right, as the blue Zerg, he's a Nerchio.
And his opponent on the upper left side, still leading the series. 2-1, it's the red Protoss Drogo. I still insist on calling him Drogo because I remember it was after his DreamHack win, he said I'm no longer like Tiny Drogo, I'm just Drogo now.
Sorry. This damn, like, gnat, right, is literally flying into my face. Like, I'll see him on my monitor and then he'll go right for my face, and I think he's in my eye. So...
Like right now it's in your eye?
I think. Like,
what?
It feels uncomfortable.
Yo, put your camera on someone else and go to the bathroom and take that. What the fuck?
I don't know though. Maybe I'm just like a. Maybe it's like a.
No, take care of that shit. The fuck? That's messed up. That's gross. That's nasty. Ugh, I don't want to think about it. Put your camera on someone. I'll follow them. Go to the bathroom.
I'm not sure it's in there.
Put it on a meal. Put it on a meal.
Well, I don't know if that is. I
got my camera on a meal. Go to the bathroom. Oh, that's so fucking nasty. All right, well. Well, she's hopefully gone. Oh, gosh, it feels so gross. I'm like kicking my legs, thinking of a bug stuck in my eye. No fucking thank you. Nerchio He doesn't reach out for a quick gold. We've actually seen quite a few other people, Damaga as well, and others reach out for that gold quick because it is so accessible. But I think the fear of adepts is perhaps a little too much. So I like that he plays it a little bit safe. The argument can be made too, like he's down in the series, so he's got to make sure he doesn't do anything too reckless. But he's not really down by much, so I don't think he's in too much trouble. But either way, we'll see what Drogo decides to do, if he'll go for a faster third at that gold. We've actually been seeing a lot more people just expand on the outer rims of the map rather than even bothering for the gold sometimes. It is so exposed and hard to deal with. But Mothership starts up at the natural base. And I guess as far as Nerchio goes, yeah, he just jumps to that third. So he will take the gold. It just won't be the super fast version of it. And that's totally fine. But Evo Chamber starts up. Overlords are kind of moving to position where I'm wondering if this will be a situation that he ends up dropping some lings to the main. Would certainly be cool to see. Not sure what Emil's trying to show us right now, but it appears to be the ledge between the main and the natural.
Yeah. I think it was just an eyelash. I think I blinked to not let him into my eye. Eyelash fell in.
So gross listening to like... Ugh.
It's so funny. I don't know why it's not gross to me. Like, I guess this has happened so often when I'm outside that I figure everyone's experienced a gnat running towards their eye.
I phenomenally hate everything to do with your eye. I can't wear contacts.
Oh, you're that type.
Yeah.
The contact thing, it does sound familiar, but... So,
just the thought of a bug in there at all is so fucking nasty to me.
It's actually like a gnat so tiny it kind of just dies when you blink. And it's just a little uncomfortable. Ugh. Oh, what the hell? Did I swallow a fly?
What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with my room right now?
What is wrong with you?
I don't think I did. I think I just breathe weird. Anyways, it's not like having something in your ear, you know? Like you hear those horror stories about cockroaches in a person's ear.
Hey God, we got a drop going on. Whose camera am I supposed to be on? Yours or Emil's?
Mine.
Oh, excellent. So the pylon, I don't know what Emil was doing. I don't like Emil's camera work. I'm just gonna say it. The drop actually gets abandoned. He sees the pylon. He knew they couldn't sneak in there. And really, it is the sneak attack element that is the only way you're gonna get that damage done. But if he had gone up there, he would have scouted the 5 extra gateways getting slapped down right now. Oh gosh.
He should be suspicious, you know? Like, there's no third base yet. There's no intention to take a third base yet. It's like, give another 30 seconds, and Nerchio definitely knows something is up. It is going to be what seems to be a very popular all-in lately, which is not just Resident Glaives and a Warp Prism, but following up with a Dark Shrine. Oh, did Nerchio see that Warp Prism? I'm not sure he did. It would have been close. He is building nothing but units right now, so I think he knows. Just the timing of third's way too suspicious. He's at 50 drones, and anything more would have been greedy unless you knew for sure they were macroing.
His army count's not good enough for this yet, though. A lot of these roaches are on deck and not quite ready to go at the same rate these adepts are, and frankly, yeah, he's just got to pull from the gold. I like the drone pull. I don't think he should have tried to mine through it. Oh, donation hype! Thank you, guys! Hey, guys! $5. Pay you right back at you, good looking.
Hey.
The adepts are going to shade through this, and the lings have to make sure they get on top of these right away.
Oh, they don't shade through? That means the base is going to go down, and they're back to even bases, which is not so good for Nerchio. The Dark Shrine's also following this up, don't forget. So Nerchio, he does not have a Spore Crawler here. He does not have a... No, he does have a Spore Crawler here. In fact, a Spine Crawler, too. But no Lair. So they could turn into Archons as well and add quite a bit of... Maybe not damage, necessarily, but definitely took up quite a lot of shots.
Not damage, but damage.
Damage, exactly. I think Drogo's got this game, man. Nerchio on 2 bases is not looking so hot, even if the game doesn't end right here, right now. He does take I feel like a very unfavorable shade in, though. I guess he wanted the army to be distracted away from the DTs, which was kind of successful. Shading back out, and Drogo does, he didn't lose the Warp Prism. What the hell is it? Go to it. Where the fuck? Oh, there it is. Jesus. Ah, I hate the production tab.
Zombie grub.
Well, it's one of those things where it's right outside.
Do not see because there's bugs all over them.
The vision. It's right outside the vision, so it won't take you to it, and I couldn't see it on the minimap.
It's gross.
Probably because of the bug in my eye. You're right. Anyway, So yeah, I was a little surprised he took the engagement with his adepts right there. Like, he got himself kind of surrounded, and some went into the mineral line, some didn't, and the DTs really weren't... I don't know if they were worth that sacrifice, but while Drogo's down to an army supply, it's not very good army supply for Nerchio, and he did end up killing an entire third base, you know? So, Nerchio only just replenishing that drone count. He was at 50, lost 10, I guess, and also had to make a bunch of sport hogs and spine crawlers and stuff. Okay, well, the game continues, and this is interesting. Drogo does want to plant down a third base, and he wanted the gold, but it was awkward, so takes the not gold.
Yeah, actually, I was talking about that when you're gone. Like, there seems to be a lot more emphasis on just expanding outside the rim of the map anyways, because it is hard to control that gold. I don't know what that drop was. It wasn't good is what it was.
It was not. Of course, he was just doing other things at that time. Not thinking the army was going to be there. So, Nerchio, by the way, with this Overlord creep, thinks he's denying the base for maybe longer than he really is. Which is kind of funny. Huh. He might assume by now there's another third taken. But... a lot of lings are on the way, and Nerchio, I mean, he's back up to almost 50 drones. He could try and do an attack with that. It's not a very ideal number, but with a gold base, it is better looking than most other maps in most of the situations. And it's something that he could try and get a third base cancel or snipe on. But this is where Apotheosis, I feel, is what I was talking about before the fly thing happened. Is that if it's going to be lings and banelings and roaches and ravagers, that's great. Like, they're so speedy overall, especially when they have their speed upgrade. But it's a really long map, and that extra 2-5 seconds, you know, whatever it is, can be the difference between a warp-in saving their base and the pylon being killed before the warp-in can happen, you know? But it's Drogo who's pushing out here, and that's a little risky for sure. He does have a couple of force fields, a couple of really strong units too, and the Warp Prism has lived this entire time.
His weapons are so close to finishing. If he would just wait like 11 seconds. But he's going to take the fight the best he can.
My God.
There's no banelings yet, so it's just lings running in on top of this. That's a lot of adepts. The Immortal's on the wrong side of this fight. No, that War Prism's not on the front line to do the micro. He's bringing it in now. Picks up that Immortal. Barely keeping it alive. He needs the Immortals to do more than the adepts. The Roach is just taking on this army, and Drogo's supply dipping really hard.
For that surround, I'm surprised he took as good of a fight as he did. That was terrible. He saw two armies. He saw this army and he saw this army. He didn't see the army to the left side, and that was what really screwed him over. He was looking for good force fields, taking a fight on the ramp, or probably more on this ramp, and he failed. He's getting to decent points in games, but unlike the first two, where he's able to cleanly end them, he's being overconfident and losing drastic numbers of army. Now he still has... oh, he didn't pick up that Immortal. I was gonna say, he still has good units against what Nerchio has, you know, just roaches. But he's making, I feel, a game more complicated than it has to be. Or closer than it has to be. And Immortal's still going pretty strong here, but the Adepts actually choose to shade in. Nerchio's reinforcing with just roaches, and that's the length of the map affecting this defense for sure. And Drogo's so far down in army supply, even with his big warp-in now. Down in upgrades too, although not with these units, so... really, he's ahead in upgrades. Nerchio wasn't making very many lings at all. Well, Drogo has his third base saturated at least. He defended well enough there. Trying to chase down the last couple of Ravagers. Getting Blink +2. But once again, he could over-dedicate. Like, he could be too confident pushing into this. He doesn't have a recall. Oh, no, he has a recall. Hold on. He doesn't have a recall. I think maybe he thought he did. But he was a little bit shy. And the army gets on top of his army so quickly anyway. He would have lost units no matter what. And I just... oh, man. Oh, God. Every single time he does this, imagine had he not done any of this. He would still have 3, maybe even 4 Immortals by now. And really be out-teching his opponents.
He would be, but the supply count might just be a little too brutal. I love watching the micro go down as he tries to waste shots on the roaches, but that Warp Prism's got nothing to pick up, and that Immortal is going to go down. New Warping comes in, but picks it up once again! Keeps it alive a little bit longer. This time it's DTs, and Nerchio actually doesn't have detection here immediately, so he's going to have to walk away. And Drogo, despite his incredible supply deficit, is going to hold on for just a little bit longer.
Yeah. Turns him into Archons. He really needs something else going on, and I think he realizes that too. He's going to try and send the War Prism away, getting rid of that possible micro, but hoping Defender's Advantage will work out for him anyway. A lot of Lings, though. Lings have been the complicating issue every single fight, I would say. They're the ones that get surrounds in the Immortals, and they're the ones that keep the army in place so that Drogo can't kite. Nerchio, maybe you're dedicating here. Remember that he's on 44 drones, and the reason that's okay is that he's on a gold base, but gold bases mine out pretty fast. The Apotheosis kind of dicking him over with the reinforcements. He's losing armies to probably overcommittals just like Drogo is. They're trying to actually steamroll. Nerchio's trying to steamroll Snowball, right? Whereas Drogo's trying to get whatever units he can while Nerchio is retreating, and they're both very close to throwing the game. If Drogo could get DTs on this base, it'd probably die. Nerchio really is focused all entirely on the attack. But he had to bring the War Prism back home, and now it's going to be used for scouting. Nerchio not quite running out of this gold base either, as a couple of healthy pushes in him still. Ooh, food.
Aren't you just lucky?
I am pretty
Unless
lucky.
You're referring to the bugs. Ugh.
Yeah, I ate the bugs. Another big engagement going down, and this time maybe Drogo does not have.
There's detection this time for
okay,
Nerchio, so
yeah.
the DTs aren't going to be the clutch defense they were that last time. There's not enough anti-air to actually snipe off the Overseers, so unfortunately, I do believe this will be the final push. It was scrappy, it was a long map, and it was dangerous, but Nerchio's about to tie up the series 2-2 as he's abandoning ship. Mothership 4 goes down, that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing left to hold this but the units inside that War Prism. This will be like a miracle tale, if you could hold that, but GG. That's it for Nerchio. Takes the game.
Yeah, tying it up 2-2. All right. I really liked the first two-game Drogo better. He was confident, but it was working for him. These last two Drogos have been confident, but not working for him. They've been overconfident, and he's been taking to dangerous situations. But it looks like that time has arrived. Nerchio has to play in Total Biscuit's Shoutcraft. I'm not sure what this means. Hopefully the admins will get to us quickly with some information. But that means there might be an extended break. So, I guess just have us up on second screen as the second stream. There you go. And we'll try and keep you updated in chat. Hello, that wasn't a very long break at all. Drogo had just lost on Shoutcraft, and Nerchio had lost previous games, so he's been waiting.
Yeah, a little bit awkward. We had stream delay on, so like as it was coming up on stream was like as the results got shown up on Total Biscuit stream, I guess. So awesome. This means we won't be waiting too long. We'll finish up this best of 7. If you're just joining us, because I saw a couple of people I guess came from Shoutcraft, so thank you if they give us a shout out, and if not, just thanks for joining us. It is currently 2-2 in this best of 7. There is possibly $7,500 for first place and possibly $4,500 for second. So quite a bit of money on the line.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, either way, the series is already half over. It's 2-2. We're going to game 5. It's going to be Dasan Station. And format is loser's pick. I actually don't remember the maps we've already done at this point. So we're fucking YOLO just going forward.
We definitely played Frozen and Apotheosis. Don't remember the other map though.
Yeah. The other thing too is we actually just had a bunch of people actually sub to us after shouting it out on stream. So thank you guys so much. We're actually finally above 9,300. We're at 9,410. So that sub count getting closer and closer to 10K. Big love, guys. Ow! Oh fuck.
Huh, that timed out with your pain.
Yeah.
That was
So
me
I
cracking
can't-
my knuckles.
I can't move my right arm still, guys. I just tried to give a thumbs up. And that was a mistake. The other thing I was gonna say is if you haven't already seen Cattington, I would recommend checking that out.
Cottington.
My proudest moment on stream, I'd say, within the last months, to be certain.
Good deal.
Also, I guess one last bump for our YouTube while we're waiting for the we're in the lobby after all. We're waiting for everyone to get ready. One last bump for our YouTube guys is we do upload all of our VODs in spoiler-free format. You can check out a lot of the games of anything you missed there, but more importantly, we do some YouTube exclusive stuff, and a lot of that's our co-op content. So if you like co-op mode and you want to see me and ZvP play each week, we always take on the mutation challenge. Sometimes we fucking lose a lot, and then sometimes we beat it easily. I don't know. Check it out on YouTube.
Yep.
I feel like people really enjoy the ones where I just get mad at things. Because one of the co-op videos I uploaded, I didn't even title it as like... Because all the co-op videos like try hard, like co-op, Rifkit Zombie Grub playing as Vorzud and blank on the mission blank. One of them I uploaded, I said, honestly, this is me just getting frustrated for 40 minutes, and that got more views that week than all the other co-op videos in the same week.
That gives more information, believe it or not, than the other ones, so... Makes sense in my mind. Just about ready to start. I needed 3 minutes about a minute ago. So, hopefully soon.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the stats. Here's those 6 stats coming in, guys.
I'm ready.
483 views on the honestly, this is just me getting frustrated at co-op for 40 minutes. Versus the 325 on Brutal Co-op Mutation for Dark Ritual featuring Abathur.
Nice. Wow, he hosted Fear Dragon. Did he really?
Oh, is Shoutcraft all done?
Yeah, it's done.
Oh, I didn't realize like that was some of the last stuff of the day. Cool. Well, shout out to Fear Dragon. Yeah, we were probably just gonna host him after too. If you guys don't know, he's doing Ladder Heroes. We got some people from Shoutcraft reporting in, supposedly with a thumbs up coming in chat. Nice to meet you guys. Hello. I guess to give a quick repeat, because I don't know where you joined on the delay, we are currently in the lobby for Game 5, Drogo versus Nerchio. It is tied up 2-2, and this best of 7 has a lot of money on the line, allegedly.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I will speak on that point because we were talking about this before, I guess, all the new blood came to the stream, and that's for these players, there's some concern that WCA won't do payouts. I guess there's a bad history of them being delayed / not at all. However, after speaking with the people in charge of this, and Drogo especially I spoke with, I said, Drogo, dude, if you're confident these guys will pay, I'll keep going. And he says, I'm willing to take the gamble. The odds look good. I talked to the admins as well. So at least one of these 2 players is okay playing these finals. Nerchio might be doing it just for the sake of it, but that's where we're at. So Game 5 coming up in this best of 7, tied up 2-2.
Thank you to, let's see here, Dugmar resub for 24 months, and Mega Man Red resub for 14 months. Got my Proof this month. Thanks, BaseTradeTV, and keep up the great work. Good to know I made it.
Yeah, actually, I'm while we're just waiting, speaking of Fear Dragon, I don't know if he'll still be casting when we're done. I realized that Ladder Heroes is getting close to the finals over there, too, I think. Unfortunately, between, these guys leaving for Shoutcraft and the downtime created by that, and it's just a bit of a slow delay. We're almost done with this, too, which will be nice. So, just deep breaths. I will say this, though, for people who don't know BaseTradeTV very well, we're kind of past the point of exhaustion. We're in silly territory. This is more 2 friends talk about StarCraft than it is hardcore commentary. So, there is your forewarning.
Well, now they're just about ready. Just need Nerchio, I guess. Ready. There it goes. Alright. Countdown has begun. This is game number 5. That might be confusing, but if you just joined, then maybe you expected to get into mid-series, in which case, nothing is wrong. Nothing was awkward. Everything's great. Great. Daz on Station, always an odd choice. I do believe the way they did things, though, was that loser's pick was the finals. As I literally think Drogo said, like, it's your pick, mate, so.
Yeah, there was, I don't know. There was confusion coming back as everyone kind of forgot where we were at in the series.
Yeah, but it's different than what they did the rest of the tournament, but hey, whatever. In the top left, as the blue Zerg, he is Nerchio.
Oh, that's right. I gotta set the scores of mine so I don't forget too. Tied up 2-2, and in the middle bottom right-ish, it's gonna be the red Protoss Drogo. Now, to touch on one last thing before we get too much in the commentary, there's a lot of things about G2A, guys. I know Total Biscuit doesn't like G2A, and if he doesn't want to support the stream for that, by all means, that's his right. I've talked to Total Biscuit many times at events. I think he's a really cool dude. I don't know what he thinks of me, but there's no bad blood about it whatsoever. And I'm really glad he hosted Fear Dragon, because Fear Dragon is a guy who needs a lot of exposure in this situation. We're not doing this because we need to get 10k views to impress a sponsor. We're just casting StarCraft because we like StarCraft. So for those trying to make drama where there's none, I just kindly that you don't. I know that won't solve the problem, but it just says kindly, because there's really nothing going on to blow up out of proportion. In fact, like, without any sarcasm, salutes to Total Biscuit for choosing to host Fear Dragon.
Thank you to Oh My God Laba.
13
Laba.
month.
Blah 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 blah.
All right, so this is a close spawn map, and if this was Bly, I would have already been calling down that proxy hatchery, but it's not. It's Nerchio. Now, that doesn't mean Nerchio won't be doing something kind of gross or even all any, but it is nice to see this map play out without that proxy going down, because it feels like a while since we've actually seen that be the case.
Yeah, it's gonna be the first like PvZ we've seen that wasn't some type of cheese, I think. In a long time. We've seen a couple of macro games with Tempest versus Terran, and that's been interesting, but not so much the late game versus Zerg. I guess you could still go the Tempest thing versus Zerg, but I don't know if Drogo wants to.
I think it'd be a lot more difficult. Terran don't have the abducts the Vipers do to really solve that problem. Not that we're gonna get too much into that direction of things, but I am more interested where gold bases get aimed for this. If you've got gold bases taking the middle of the map from Nerchio or Drogo, we've seen a lot of times the rocks on the other side getting taken down. You got Ravagers, Stalkers, you name it, just denying mining. And I think because of this being more common, we're seeing less people go for those golds. But it looks like Nerchio has no fear. He's taking down those rocks really early so that you won't have to worry about, Stalkers sitting on the other side of the mineral line denying this.
Yeah. Protoss isn't quite as abusable as Terran, frankly, on this map. Tanks being the -- problem with these chokes. But even Wintermines can abuse chokes. Anything that gets clumped up and has splash, right? But Drogo, I mean, Protoss is if they do get splash, Colossus, Disruptors, or Archons, I guess, Storm. Yeah, there you go. It's going to be a while away, There's not really any early pushes they can do the same way that Terran can. That can be quite abusable, so we'll see if Drogo's even going to go that direction. This game gets kind of complicated. This map, gets kind of complicated for anyone against Zerg after the mid-game, though, in my opinion. Like, I think very much so they have trouble holding on to their bases and their economy and feeling safe in the first, 5 minutes. But then afterwards, when all the rocks are broken down and the bases are starting to get to go over here and over here, all the counterattack opportunities, the run buys, getting into this back, it can get complicated depending on how the Zerg player plays, what the style is like. But Nerchio has been, we discussed this during the last PvZ, that best of 5 that kind of got snuck in between game 4 and 5 here. That, I'm really surprised that Nerchio is kind of playing very just like forward. He really is just trying to steamroll with Roach Ravager, typically. And that's worked sometimes, an all-in works every now and then, and it does sometimes snowball, but those first 2 games of this series, Drogo's able to hold and do well against it. So I kind of hope that maybe the break brought back that Drogo that wasn't too confident in overcommits and just committed the right amounts. We have lanes going in the back. Drogo's already walled off because he is a smart cookie. Adept going in for a scout in the natural. Well, the attack at the third base, Drogo is hitting right before Nerchio is quite prepared for this. The Spine Crawler barely finishes. Roaches do pop out now. We have 5 drones going down. Is that there? Almost in there, yeah. Adept that was scouting got cleaned up pretty easily. And this is pushed back. But Drogo now has his third, set up at least a few pylons.
Emote only mode. I don't know which mod enabled that. Shoutouts to you, but that's the perfect time to do a golden kappa check, guys. I'm just saying. Benjik, though, manages to find a way to circumvent the emote only mode by subscribing for 14 months. This is the best way to spend a Saturday with tons of StarCraft. There has been a ton of StarCraft today, actually. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
I'm still shocked that we had the viewership we did while Total Biscuit was doing his thing, much less Take TV and O Gaming and all the other big StarCraft bros out there.
Yeah.
Anyways, Nerchio's attack not really gaining a lot of momentum just yet. Drogo holding on pretty nicely, but that overcharge is soon to run out, and he's got a couple more pylons coming down, but that's the one that's going to keep the Ravagers back off the base. So Nerchio actually does fall back.
Yeah. Well, Nerchio, he started off that attack by actually droning. He got 10 more drones after deflecting the Adepts, and then just, figured he had units and it sat on station. Defender's advantage doesn't really kick itself into gear here like it does on larger maps. Just figured he should try. Of course, the Bios could take down the pylons, and if there's only one, maybe he does something, but the defenses were solid enough for Drogo, and the test has kind of been completed. Now, Nerchio is still on 3 bases. Okay, there's the 4th. I was gonna say. Larry is about to finish up here, and he might just be, once again, brute forcing it with Roach Hydra. And if he's not gonna get upgrades, it really is gonna be literally like brute force. Just numbers. He has no boost chamber. I'm not gonna use it for now. Oh, this is annoying. Drogo not breaking down the rocks as quickly as Nerchio did. Does take a little bit of damage. And has to pull his probes entirely off of mining for a second. Did we shout out Venjik?
That's what I was just talking about, man.
That's right.
14 months. See, Zombie Rob's gone, guys. I haven't had food, but she's the one who's gone.
Okay, buddy. Whatever. Adepts, unfortunately, trying to chase the harassing units, gets surrounded by the entire army. Surprise. Drogo adding on the rest of his production, but I'm so curious what Nerchio is going to do. He did finally start an upgrade. It's going to be missile attack. Not trying to scale up with +1 like so many other games that we've seen, so interesting. Roach speed means he will commit a lot to these roaches, and is it just going to be Ling Roach as a... just, I'm going to try and kill you here? Looks like it. 6 overlords are going to complicate matters quite a bit. Attacking the third, attacking the natural, and maybe even attacking the main. Sun Station, not a terribly large map. And once you've broken the wall, whether it's through drop overlords or breaking down the literal wall, you're going to get into a lot of locations. And I don't think Drogo really realizes this is going to be the case, you know? He scouted 4 bases, yes, an aggressive map, but... oh, he barely got a glimpse of those overlord drops. Now he realized at the last second, like, oh shit, my back door here, but... as he goes to react to this attack, the attack in the north is going to do some serious damage.
Blink getting stalled out is going to be the most painful part of this, is watching that chrono on nothing. Ooh. Meanwhile, elsewhere, gold base under attack, and Nerchio just seems to be able to find all of these holes and chinks in Drogo's defense. The +1 weapons is nice, but there's just no benefit. And these overlords, like, let's say they get stalled at the wall. Yeah, he just drop it in the main.
Oof, not a great start to a hold here. And unfortunately, he lost a good chunk of his army in both of these offenses, so it's not even like he has a powerful counterattack in case he does clean everything up. Now keep in mind, Nerchio is on bare bones units, and if Drogo can recover, he's still at 51 probes. And all he needs is a couple more warp-ins to get that army supply looking a lot more even, or even just a couple of good engagements, like force fields actually do work in his favor for once, and he gets, 15 roaches. That would be amazing for him. But now the overlords come into play. These weren't even necessary to begin with. And that's not so great for Drogo. He has 2 disruptors, but unfortunately, when you're having your attention split, it can be very hard to control those. So either they just die without getting any shot off whatsoever, or the shot absolutely sucks. Oh god, I don't think Drogo can do anything about this. That army supply is so drastically different.
That's just like one immortal trying to do God's work, and it's not gonna happen. The barrier keeps it alive for a little bit of time, but the sad reality is Blink's never gonna finish this game, Zombie Grub. It's just not gonna happen.
It's not, nope. Well, decent shot from that disruptor. He needs about 17 more of those.
Yeah, that's a good estimate.
Thank you.
While this goes on, of course, the gold base to the top attacked once again, and it's just a relentless assault out of Nerchio, not giving him a chance to breathe. Calculated and deadly. 2 locations. This pincer move is the weirdest pincer move, the most spread out pincer move, but it is working.
Mm-hmm. Drogo, never want to give up if you have 3 bases still. With fairly healthy mining. But the truth of the matter is his army it can't. It can't. Can't even. You can see that, like, Kronos armies against Massling Roach, given the proper circumstances, can take quite an engagement even against, like, 30 or 40 army supply lead.
It also goes to the credit of the way Drogo is controlling himself. GG's Nerchio wins the game, giving him now a lead 3-2 in the series. But it gives credit to Drogo. I mean, the combination of the way his defense was set up, the pylons, the SimCity, like, there was a lot that let him delay that as long as he did. I mean, ultimately, it was not going to work. I think you knew that, we knew that, most people watching knew that. But it was like that glimmer of hope where Drogo's like, you know what, I'm not doing that bad. I'm actually going to hold on here. Well, I guess for him, it'd be like, I'm not doing that bad. I'm holding on here.
Oof, nope, this got bad.
Here.
Well, it's one game away from being over if Nerchio can win this next one.
Salut.
It's Nerchio's pick, so wait. Are they doing...
Maybe it's back and forth, or maybe... I don't know. But
It's not a loser's pick. Okay, Galactic Process is coming up next, so we'll be back in 2 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Galactic Process now as the potential last map in this best of 7. And the top right as the blue Zerg. It's Nerchio.
And his opponent, spawning in the bottom left, he's red, French, and Protoss. It's Drogo. Actually, with the Mind Sanity logo included, we got like all kinds of French colors going on here. With the blue minerals, the white Mind Sanity logo, and the red color.
Or USA colors.
No, that would be red, white, and blue. I said it in a different order very much on purpose.
What's the order on the French flag?
Blue, white, red, isn't it?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go look this up. French flag.
Is it red, white, blue?
No, it's blue, white, red. Yeah,
Okay.
thought so.
Okay. What's the order on the American flag?
It's the red, white, and blue. Although
Yeah, but
you
there's no
can't
order
tell
on the
because
flag.
it's a giant number 1.
Hey! Also, it's not really an order on the flag. So, why is it always said the red, white, and blue?
Because Americans don't know how alphabetical order works, I guess.
Blue, white, and red. Blue, red, white. It doesn't sound as natural anymore. God. Jeez. I'm so American.
What color is the Confederate flag?
Red and white?
Is there no blue on it?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's probably for the
I
best
don't-
that you don't know.
I actually have one despite living in Virginia. I'm in Northern Virginia, okay. Oh, it's right. It's the blue thing that's in the middle. That's right. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if this'll get a peek in anyone's interest. I love this podcast called Hello Internet, and Gray and Brady regularly discuss flags, and I find it really interesting actually looking at the different types of flag designs because I'm so used to just seeing some very, very basic stuff, but I actually really have been getting into flag design.
Some of these state flags are very complicated and kind of baller. They're like crests, actually. The Virginia state flag is a little...
Crests, huh? That's a cool idea. Someone should do that.
Yeah. I didn't realize that Viking TV hosted us. I guess they stopped casting, so that's nice of them. Yeah.
I mean, they're being kind of butts in game, so I don't know.
Were they? They're okay.
That's the
I don't
guy
even know
who
what you're talking about.
insisted bringing up our sponsors in the middle of Nerchio leaving a series for no reason with
Yeah.
no connection. So
I kind of feel like sometimes they're just trying to fit in, you know? And they're trying to make a joke and then just didn't
I
work
saw
out.
I saw on Reddit people who like BaseTradeTV.
Oh, that's not quite where I was going with that. I meant more like they were trying to make a joke, you know? How like they called out Emil. I don't know. I actually don't remember if that was them or not.
Actually,
Someone else.
I shouldn't be too shitty because I did actually meet one of the dudes from Viking TV at GMAC Austin. He was actually a really lovely guy. So
Lovely.
all jokes aside.
Huh.
See, I rate people differently. Like, if you were okay and tolerable, I won't call you lovely. But if I actually didn't mind talking to you, I think I would give you like a lovely out of 10.
Lovely is a pretty odd adjective for you to use, for anyone to use, really, unless you're like a 8-year-old woman.
Right, but for friends, I'm like awesome, cool, rad, like.
Yeah. Anyway. I don't know what I was going to talk about. Oh, right. Slings breaking on these rocks.
Yes,
Kind of
and
important.
this is something happening really early. There's actually it's almost questionable for Drogo to be like, wait, why aren't there anything, like, what? There's no roaches, there's no ravages, there's no links, nothing's pressuring the front of my base. Why is that? And you could guess that Nerchio is either playing really greedy, which is unlikely, or that he's doing something maniacal and devious like this, because that's Nerchio in a nutshell for you.
Are you maniacal with a monocle often? Would you be a fancy, maniacal, evil genius if you wore a monocle?
I think it's really an unfair stereotype to assume that somebody with a monocle is a bad guy opposed to somebody who just has bad eyesight.
That wasn't the stereotype. That's why I asked you if you did wear a monocle when you're maniacal.
Well, I do as a cat.
Oh. That's true. Caddington.
The maniacal monocle chronicle that ends up being funny, so it's kind of comical.
Ha! Good one. So this is one of the problems with what Drogo does, is that he doesn't have much scouting off to the right side, but the good thing about what he does is that since he doesn't wall off the front and feel safe and protected, he has a wall off on his natural. So if the Lings even got through, he'd have some time to react to it instead of just being like, oh shit, they're in my main base already. Thanks to Hype Dragoon for the 2-month resub, or Hyper Dragoon, whatever.
Now, the Adept attack actually does get to the mineral line, but you'll notice Nerchio pulls his drones quick enough. However, he might be pulling them into more depth. No, he actually pulls them off to the side, so Drogo was expecting more kills in the main, but those drones are pulled pretty quickly. And this has only been about 8 workers killed so far. This is not getting the damage you need. Look at that army supply. This might just be the end of the series, because every time we see this happen, the counterattack is just unmatched. You might have 1 or 2 Immortals back at home against what is going to be 80 army supply and Roaches and Lings.
Yeah. And for Nerchio only taking 13 drone losses, which is not bad for Adepts, but in the grand scheme of things, when you consider the army supply that's now there, I think is fine. He should probably just go ahead and counterattack. He can try and play a macro game behind it and drone, and that's fine, but I also think that if he had just committed to an all-in, he might have been able to make that work too. He's gonna get a couple of Ravagers, giving Drogo some time to get another Warp in, maybe even another Immortal if he gets enough time.
What do you call a really cool Ravager? A Ravager.
It's totally rad.
If I could put sunglasses on right now, I would. Can't though. Arms are broken. That third base is really fortified, and a big problem with this is that means the natural is actually unguarded. There's not even that many pylons, much less SimCity to work around. Nerchio's attack to tear down rocks in a couple different locations ultimately is a bit awkward because it doesn't lead him to a free third like I think he was hoping. But he is going to find himself, once again, getting underneath Drogo's skin, literally with his bases.
Oh, literally, no. Oh, yeah.
It puts the lotion on its skin when it's told.
He wanted, I think, to abuse the ramp a little bit more, and unfortunately...
Oh, actually, those force fields end up being a little bit better than expected. This keeps them in fight of the Immortals. The Immortals just absolutely trashing the Roaches, and he still hasn't actually broken the wall to get through to the main.
Yeah. Oh, now there it is. He can send Lings through there, but he wants to take the fight. No, he does send the Lings into the main base. I think that is the better option. Escape with the Roaches while you can. Nerchio's fourth base. Sorry, he's almost up, and he could transfer drones, or he could start making more.
I love gold!
Kind of interesting use of a recall. Unfortunately, while that happened, Nerchio does not get the opportunity to get to the third base. That could have been a possibility. A little scary for Drogo right there. But so far, a great hold by Drogo for being so far down in that army supply. Nerchio is still stuck on just Roaches. He does have a lair, but he's not advancing tech anywhere. Not even with an upgrade. Not even with Roach speed. And it's getting very, very concerning. He has quite a bank of minerals, but just can't get the gas up enough. Oh, I didn't take his gases, that's why. Or not all 6 of them. And these ones still, of course, missing. But Drogo needs some time to, I guess, calm down himself. Actually, I think he just needs time to wait for the Warp Prism, and he should be good to go for a push out himself. And that's not going to look so great for Nerchio. Supply blocked now, too. Drogo's a very good opportunity in this game to even straight up win if he takes a good enough engagement. Doesn't have too many force fields anymore, but a lot of adepts and some powerhouse units. Gets a scout on the army of Nerchio. And if that's really all of his army, is what Drogo's probably thinking right now, is like, okay, then I've got this game. But he's done this thing before where he's just been overconfident, he pushes on a creep, he sees 2 sides of the army but not the third side, gets surrounded, and can't escape, so... He should be a little, like, paranoid of that, and a shading with the Adepts to get some scouting might be in order even here. But it's a fairly sizable... Well, it's like a medium-sized Ling, Roach, Ravager counterattack. They do get into the mineral line. Unfortunately, the cannon will buy some time, and the Photon Overcharge buys a lot more time, too. Attacking into what is basically pure Roach and only a handful of Ravagers. This is going to go so well for Drogo. More Ravagers come back, I suppose, but the Warp Prism's still alive. Drones are being pulled into this, and maybe Nerchio barely has enough here to hold on.
It's kind of breaking. The Immortals keep getting picked up and not dropped in time to deal damage, so you might not lose the Immortals, but they've been removed from the fight.
Again, if Drogo had just taken a fight in the choke instead of out in the concave, it would have gone so much better.
Oh god, that army's so quite different.
It sounds like deja vu, though. So,
I know, it's actually the story of this game in a nutshell.
It's been the story of a lot of their matches, really.
Yeah.
Thinking back to the Apotheosis game, we had similar army supplies in some situation where Drogo's probably going to hold on for a while longer, but there's that, you know, he saw just roaches. He had Immortals, he had Adepts, he had upgrades, 2 versus nothing, yet he still pushed into an unfavorable engagement, and brute forcing with his army didn't quite work. Now he has quite a bank, and he'd love to go to a 4th base, maybe even looking towards the gold for that 4th base. But first, a little scared of the push. Dark Shrine about to finish up, and that will be used for the harassment here. The Overlord saw this, both Overlords saw this. So Nerchio's gonna get into position. But Nerchio's still not advancing very much farther than just the +1 melee. Oh, +2, my bad. But no Hydralisk Den, so no Lurkers, no Infestation Pit, just Roach Ravager, Ling Baneling.
I mean, I guess one of the things to consider is Nerchio obviously struggling with the Immortals to an extent, War Prism included with that. But there is just a lot of gateway units, and that's been primarily what Drogo's been reliant upon this whole game. So I like the Banelings actually quite a bit for this.
Well, 4th base is a no-go. This could be eerily similar to the last game with Showtime versus Nerchio, which I know you unfortunately didn't get to cast. Feels bad. But,
yeah.
You know, Drogo, the Protoss, I would say, Protoss was in a good position, 3 bases, had a decent army, was growing heavily in the Immortal count, but could not take a good engagement, and though I think time would have been on his side, the Protoss couldn't get a 4th base for very long at all. And eventually Nerchio was able to win out. Now, that was with Lurkers, so that the tech is a lot more advanced in that game, and Hydralisk are also a lot different to use than Banelings, obviously, or even Roaches. High DPS, they can try and micro.
Oh, there's
whatnot.
no detection.
Oh, awkward. Well, if
WCAs are just finishing up, but they're actually kind of far out.
Far out, man.
Radical, again, bringing it back.
That's a lot of drones.
I made the stupid gold joke earlier, and I just want to watch Austin Powers again. Like,
such a good movie.
Smoking a pancake?
That's better than Rat Race and Wild Wild West.
Agreed. I think that's something we can both agree on.
Oh my god, he's really not clean. He's up.
I know, 20 drones have died. A lot of the actual Queens and Army has. Well, he tried to do it with Ravagers. I mean, I like Nerchio's attempts. Like, the actually previous series game, he Baneling detonated manually to try and deal with them too, if you recall. Just a lot of panic, I guess, here. But still, 22 drones, that isn't that big. You got to consider 42 drones looks low for a Zerg player, but he's really only on 2.5 bases, and one of those bases is gold. He doesn't need a lot of workers until he saturates another regular base. And since he's not expanding, but he's kind of all-inning, that might not be a problem.
Yeah, he's winning the income war right now. But Drogo does finally get probes over there, and gas is set up. He's got to come back and defend his bases. Drogo needs to be careful to the depths. I was going to say, Nerchio, like, the one thing that he wants to do is hit the Adepts with these Banelings, and he gets great shots off on them. These Lings will have to go to the main base to buy more time and wreak more havoc. Maybe going for the Dark Shrine could be, you know, just to have that peace of mind, but he's going to try and kind of hide them a little as the attack goes into the 4th. Ooh.
Yeah, I guess, again, for going back to Drogo, so much of his army has been gateway dependent, and you can't warp in 8 Adepts at a time if you don't have the money for it. So hitting him where it hurts, hitting him at the gold. That's a lot of Adepts coming in, but he sends the Banelings forward instead of pulling them back. He could have preempted the Adept Shadens. Now they're going to transfer on top of the Ravagers and get those kills, and Nerchio is suddenly the one in trouble. Drogo, somehow, constantly down in supply this game, is starting to bring this back.
To be fair, he was only down like 10, 20 army supplies, so... I do agree with those Banelings, though, and I think Nerchio realized at the last seconds, like, oh shit, I should have saved them and not let him shade it into my army.
Well, I think he was trying to hit them before they shaded
right.
With the logic, but it was just not an opportune area to do it. But this is the big attack for Drogo. He's not going to try and get that base back. He's not rebuilding probes. If Nerchio can hold on, he might just win this game, but Drogo's going deep for this. The Adept's going to transfer out. I don't know where this went, actually. A lot of them just died, I guess.
Queens, yeah, before they died. Or as they died.
Finish up. They try to go through the Archons. They get a good chunk of the Adepts, but it may not have been enough. He leaves the game. It ties up the series 3-3.
What ace match? Oh my god, this is such a long cast.
I know.
Okay.
Finals. It's the last possible game today.
And we're gonna go to a break before then. Oh my god, it's like we were like, you'll find out after this break. Ah. Oh, sorry about that. We're in the last game of the series, of the day, of the tournament, everything on the line here. And the ace match on King Sejong Station in the top left has the red Protoss. He's Drogo.
And of course, the other component to bringing it to the ace match in the bottom right, we got the Blue Zerg Nerchio. Now this has got to be one of the most awkward finals in history, right? We had the stop in the middle. We had confusion getting into it. We played a whole nother best of 5 in between. Players left, players came. But I'm so glad that this will finally be the conclusion of this tournament.
Yes. Of course, I guess as we watch the this game unfold, which is not much happening right now. In fact, well, I think this is interesting that Nerchio took the natural as his natural. That's a surprise. Tomorrow we'll be back casting every day up until Thursday, which is our first day off. So Monday's Corsair Cup, Alima League Tuesday, Best of 31 on Wednesday. Tomorrow is the Meisterkraft or something, whatever it's called.
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and call it the EPS finals.
There we go. And then there'll be a little bit of break. You go to PAX, don't you?
Yeah, I leave on the evening of the 1st. So if anyone's actually going to PAX, I would super love to say hi. I'm not actually going for any reason other than going. A friend of mine, a subscriber to the channel, he had an extra ticket, and I was really kind of bummed out, frankly, about not getting to go to Montreal. So I'm going to take the opportunity where I can get it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I do know a couple people who are going, but it's not going to be your typical StarCraft crowd, that's for certain.
No, it'll be a much more general crowd, I suppose.
I'm actually really excited about the Twitch party, because this time they're doing it in more of a come play arcade games rather than necessarily get super drunk, but also get super drunk fashion, from what I understand.
Okay, I understand. I get it. Sure. Yeah. That's cool. What is, like, is it going to be like a big hall where they're just
The guy tried to describe it as a Buster and Dave's or something, but I had to Google what that was.
Oh, okay. I know what that's like. There's a couple of different chains that are like that. Imagine Chuck E. Cheese for grown-ups. Is usually what people.
That's pretty much what I gathered from Google.
Yeah, exactly. That's what people kind of say. I don't know what Drogo did this before too. He said 40 seconds, please, and then he said go right afterwards, and now it is 25 seconds.
What if?
Go right afterwards.
What if? Hear me out. What if Drogo can pause time?
Oh my god.
And to him, that was 25 seconds.
Oh shit.
But for us, it was just the one.
Oh man, you think he'd use that power for winning more StarCraft tournaments? But he's maybe just too much
how would you do that though?
So if you could pause time?
Yeah, but it's not like the game continues moving while time's paused.
No, but I mean, if you pause time, you could stream sheet pretty easily. Wait, no.
No, you wouldn't, because
you wouldn't be able to. You're right. I was thinking more like if you could pause time and you're at a live event, you just get up, walk over, look at the screen, walk back over to your screen, and that's how you do it, right?
Yeah. Well, anyways, people are asking, chat, is this the last game? And the answer is absolutely yes. We went over it a little bit earlier, but just a quick recap, as this is the grand finals. $7,500 US going first place, $4,500 for second. There is no more games after this last one, as we are tied up 3-3.
Oh wow, this guy's giving you advice in Twitch chat. I think you really need to take his advice seriously.
I told him thank you.
Did you?
But it was sarcastic.
Oh man, you got him good.
I got him. I fucking got him. He'll go home and be like, dear diary, today I gave a caster advice and he said thank you. I will continue my life's work. And never will he realize. Oh, I guess if he's listening. Shoot.
Oh my god, I love that. That's exactly what he was trying to critique you about. This just works so well.
Okay, Rotoran finishes up for Nerchio. We actually don't have any sneaky back attack through the rocks. Nobody's natural has been taken down too early, and that might be a problem for Nerchio, maybe not. Usually we see them taken up pretty early versus Terran, and we all know about the dynamic of those tanks, but it still doesn't mean Protoss can't attack from that backside.
Oh, damn it.
Do you know what the ammo is called, real quick, before...
Ursadak?
Ursadak Calf.
Ah,
so it's a babby.
It's a little babby. It probably goes, eh, when it dies. Just like a changeling. Oh, throwback to 4 hours ago.
Yeah. Was it 4? I didn't feel like it was longer than that. But, yeah, observer on the way. We're going to get some detection rolling, but also scouting information for Drogo. He actually has not seen or scouted that much so far.
No, he hasn't.
You're more out of this than me, man. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Sorry, just the guy responded.
I know, and this you hit a stream delay and be like, oh, man. Because he did exactly what I thought he would do. No, I feel bad. I feel guilty. All right, so the Adept's going to transfer in. However, this might be a mistake, as there's just no real room to do this. The ones in the natural I like quite a bit, and if this attack in the south was purely as a distraction, then I give Drogo 2 thumbs up. But he's not going to get that many drone kills. Nerchio, once again, pulls most of his away. Transfers off to the main. These ones are pulled a little bit late, though, so the Adepts are only at 9 so far. Picks up in the Warp Prism, though, and this is pretty cost-effective for him.
Yeah,
he lose the ones to the south. He only lost 1 or 2 in total. In fact, 4, excuse me.
Sorry. Everything's gonna make me laugh. Oh.
Good. This is the perfect time to bust out all my favorite story.
Okay.
One time, but I can't do that. It's like cheating, man.
It's true. It's can't. So a lot of Lings and Roach have just been made, and I don't think it's because Nerchio is afraid of a Warp Prism warping. Like. He's gonna have to wait for Roach Speed to finish, but he might just be looking to overpower Drogo. It didn't really work last game, and in fact, it didn't really work so hard that it's a little surprising Drogo, didn't just win right then and there. It really was this attack that just fizzled in the first place, but Nerchio gonna try it again, hope to catch Drogo off guard. Of course, this Warp Prism has only had minimal scouting. It sees units attached to it, right? The ones that are chasing it. It doesn't necessarily mean that's all Nerchio is making. Now he sees the army move across the map. There you go.
This actually presents an interesting opportunity, though. He could just go through with the Warp Prism. He doesn't have to bring it home, but he can't afford to use any offensive Warp-ins, I feel. If Drogo does, he'll certainly lose the fight here. There's actually not that many pylons, and he realizes it perhaps a little too late, so overcharges are flying off now, but there's only 1 or 2 pylons to overcharge.
Yeah. Good Warp Prism micro here.
He also gets the surround on that Immortal. Almost. He's going to focus it down. Got to pick it up in the Warp Prism. Drogo, I know you can do this. He unfortunately loses the first one, but 2 more where that came from, and the Roaches are just being absolutely wrecked. The DPS might be a little bit too high, and Drogo, once again, with a lower army supply, manages to hold on.
I don't think he even realized.
His army supply, the underdog of the whole series, by the way, like every time.
I don't think he realized he even had a Warp Prism for a while there. He kind of forgot in the heat of the moment, like, oh shit, because he had to drop Adepts and then pick up the Immortal. But he should probably have 2 Immortals still. Like, this is a big difference. This is an attack that can just start to snowball with a 2nd or 3rd. If you've lasted that long, you're probably good. But if you can't, then you're gonna die soon. So another Immortal's about to pop out. Boots to pop out.
Hey,
rude. 2 Immortals are about to pop out.
Check yourself. This is getting rude.
No. Never. Oh my god, if only it's... Like, seriously, that 2nd Immortal being alive would have been a lot of extra damage.
Right? I do like this control that's coming in now, but it almost feels like a little bit too late. Once again, picks up the Immortal, keeping it alive just a little bit longer, waiting for those shots, trying to get those shields and that barrier off of cooldown. 3 Immortals now to fight with. This hugely different than the barely 1 he would have if he wasn't doing this micro. I'm loving what Drogo's doing, but it took him a long time to get into Super Saiyan mode, and I'm wondering if it might have been too long. Again, he's got upgrades, he's got Immortals, he's got strong units, but he doesn't have numbers in his favor, not the same way Nerchio does.
He's even finally getting production. That's a big problem right now, in fact. So besides a little bit of miss micro, letting his army get surrounded, he just didn't have enough to spend all that money. So he took a breather, planted on the gateways, and this is an attack that will start to fizzle with time for Nerchio. I think those gateways might just be that timer. As soon as Drogo can use all of his economy, that army supply is going to go from a 45 supply difference to 20 to 0 to just Drogo winning.
Exactly. If that continues at this pace, but Nerchio once again comes on in. The Warp Prism trying to do some fancy micro, dancing around with these Immortals. Barriers being put on cooldown as he continues to pull these back. He's eventually going to run out of clicks. He's going to eventually run out of Immortals, but Nerchio is also running out of units. I don't know if you've overcharged the right pylon there. It's a little bit awkward, but still, the units here are just... Roach is nice, so fast Immortals. The problem is there's just not enough of them.
Oh my god. The Warp Gates. God, the Warp Gates. There's still not enough. He has so much of the money in the bank.
I mean, I don't know. Do you just chrono the Warp Gates at this point? Do you chrono the Robos hoping to get the Immortals out? Either way, unfortunately, I think Drogo might be out of steam. This base gets under attack. These pylons have to be kept alive. He's got 3 Immortals. He's bringing them on the backside. Probes get pulled, and he wants to try and get this last bloody unit out, but picking up at that Warp Prism scoops it out once again. Drogo, can you keep this up? It's going so poorly, but at the same time, so well.
Oh my god, the last few Immortals just won't die. Jesus.
Even though these live true to their name, and this micro is insane. 3 Immortals living way past their life expectancy.
What is the hell
he did lose 17 probes.
No, that's fine.
20 kills on one of these immortals, by the way. Real champion right there.
Even if he had lost the entire probe line, but not the next, I still think that's fine.
Yeah, because Nerchio, I mean, he's all linear off this. Now that supplies, you pointed out, it's not 80 to 40, it's 57 to 40. There's Archons finally in the mix, too.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I really think that Drogo's barely got this. And that was a lot because of the Immortals surviving. Now he has 5 Immortals.
Can he do it? Can Drogo do it? He brings up the Warpers with the Archons. Gonna try to keep them alive, too. He's a maniac.
It's maniac. It's maniac.
We should be playing that in the background right now. We really should. That would be the most badass.
Just go dump a bucket of water on my head. Oh my god. JJ.
Vive la France!
That was impressive. Those are like...
That was... You know what I love about that finals? That
Listen.
final fucking game right there, the best part was that didn't come down to somebody just A-moving with a better build order. There wasn't cheese for that. That was actually the sickest micro-control. And while we were focusing a lot on Drogo, Nerchio was doing a lot of things right too. Those corrosive biles, almost every single one of them hit. There was very few that ever actually missed anything. Like, both players were really playing to the limit of what you could do to control those units in that situation.
Yeah.
So my absolute respect to both of them. But Drogo's was more flashy, it was cooler, and it was insane watching those Immortals not die.
This is impressive stuff. Really enjoyable. Thank you all for watching. We're going to take a quick break and come back and do all our shoutouts. See you soon. Oh boy, watching that delay was fun.
I know, I was watching the end of that game again. Just the pickup control was so cool, man!
Yeah, when it came down to those last 3 Immortals that were all in the red, that was the most impressive part, for sure.
I want to, before we do our round-offs, I want to point out, because it's going to get brought up, Nerchio doesn't GG in pretty much every game for this tournament, and it's not because he's rude or BM or salty. It's just he doesn't do it, guys. So before people blow that up to be something bigger than it is, that was actually just normal ending to a Nerchio game. It
was. All right, so that's cleared up. Thank you so much for joining us today through the Shoutcraft, through the thing that's going on Take TV and Nogi. Like, everything was going on, basically. But you guys stuck through. I thank everyone who tuned into us, especially after Shoutcraft ended. We're going to go host Fear Dragon after this. He's in the finals of it, so that's cool. But let's do our sponsor shoutouts real quick.
Before we get into that, make sure to follow our YouTube channel if you guys haven't already. We're closing in on 10K over there. We'd love to hit 10K subscribers. We're at 9,400, so youtube.com/BaseTradeTV. If you're not already on it, get on it. We post some YouTube exclusive content. We also upload all our VODs in a spoiler-free format, so please check it out. Follow the channel, but also check out all of our lovely sponsors down below. The links are available. The ones that I would say check out most, though, obviously, if you use Amazon a lot, that actually doesn't benefit BaseTradeTV or myself. That's purely for Zombie Grub, guys. So if you're using Amazon, you want to help Zombie Grub out at the same time, click those links. It won't cost you a thing, and it'll give her a couple of bucks here and there. As for our main sponsors, though, we got Chairs for Gaming, #1 on my heart and #1 on my butt, as they do provide amazing chairs for Canada and the United States. Promo code BaseTradeTV will save you 20 bucks off on any purchase, and free shipping and handling makes it even better. Corsair, of course, all their links are down below. While we don't have cool promo codes to offer, they got really good gear. I recommend checking it out. And while we can't tell you what it is, they're unveiling some really cool stuff at PAX. So really cool Corsair gear even coming. You guys should know about Yord Woodwatches, woodwatches.com/base. And then G2A, G2A.com. Use promo code BASE. Save yourself 3% of your purchase. Gives us a bit of money. You get games on the cheap. Woo! But of course, the other thing to talk about with our sponsors before we completely disappear is we have announced the full team rosters for the temporary team league we'll be running with Team Ting, Team Corsair, Team Yord, and Team Chairs for Gaming. Lots of good players lined up. It's all on Team Liquid. Check it out. But Zombie Grub, that's my spiel. Do you have anything else to say before we go?
Just follow me on Twitter at CG Gaming.
Follow me on Twitter at Riff_Kings. And thanks again for tuning in, guys. Give Fear Dragon some love. He could use it.
Bye.
Bye.